Offlane Queen of Pain, this means that Chen pretty much has to somehow make this jungle, which has been heavily warded up, work for him.
Yeah, and this is a free farm Queen of Pain as far as I'm concerned right now. Is the Disruptor, he's almost out of mana because he went to go harass that mid lane, and Jonas Fan even screams him, and Mad has to be careful. He is getting quite low, but Loda's going to transition in as he might actually go for this one.
Oh my god, Jonas Fan making the big plays as he gets the first blood, gives away the kill to Loda afterwards, but well worth it for Jonas Fan. But NiP, if they just had something to be able to deal with that Nether Ward, Ninjas of Pajamas would be in a much better position to be able to defend, but every single time they're spamming out these lightnings, they're throwing out Rocket Barrage. Loda's actually going to take a good amount of damage. Actually, on top of it, there it is! The pure damage to the Sonic Wave, finish him off. Supernova in the background, but that's not going to save Ake. Pycat mans up and defends. Era going to be taking a huge amount of damage. He was caught inside the kinetic field. Now Admiral Bulldog with the re-entry here. Shivas, they locked down Pycat with the X, trying to burst him down. Finger, that gets laid out, but the Clever Capable Outlet stay alive. They're going to try and finish off Admiral Bulldog instead, and they will get him ahead of the TP. Jonas Fan,
Pycat just goes
away. Pycat taking out these heroes left and right. Will be able to get away with just a sliver of HP. NiP back themselves up. They successfully defend, but it costs quite a pretty penny. Waiting out Alliance's next move, and that's going to be straight down middle lane. The element of surprise not going to be there for Alliance. Instead, they just reveal themselves right away. Called out, getting laid out. They're going to try and quickly spam out the next wave that comes in. Oh, look at that play. That is a beautiful setup right there. That was the blink in, right click, and the send back from Chen, all hitting at the same time. Ballsy pickup of the Divine Rapier like 10 minutes ago. Put NiP on a certain edge, but as the game goes later and later, it means that Divine Rapier pickup is not going to be as critical.
And NiP know their position with this ward. They do see Loda, and I don't know if Alliance anticipates this as
Roshan isn't quite up yet. Loda's going to be the first target once again. The Glimmer Cape goes out. Supernova immediately late into play, but this time they're going to try and finish it. Never mind. They actually go for the kill on Loda. Aaron tries to back away. Supernova gets hit. Lip still has that cheese. He's going to fight up against Dusk and Pycat. Now finishing off Admiral Bulldog as well. That is a clean wipe. And only 2 buybacks available for Alliance.
And NiP forcing the buyback out of Pycat, but it's an inefficient one as Shadow Fiend spawned with half the souls. He's only got 18, immediately heading to that top lane, and NiP, they want to force any more buybacks as they can. Does the Phoenix have one? No, none on the Disruptor or the Chen either, as they're just headed straight for this. And even if they don't get it, the Roshan is about to spawn at the same time, and they've got vision of that area, and NiP might be the first one to take out a melee Rax.
It's looking like it, man. They've already decided to go for the bottom lane instead, as that tier 3 tower is a little bit lower. Plus, the Pugna already set up with his Nether Ward towards the north side means that they don't have to worry about that anymore. A Glyph being used, 15 seconds till the Disruptor, 20 until the Phoenix. Looks like that melee Rax is going to be falling here without much of a contest. Alliance just give that one up. One lane of Rax down to the favor of NiP, and they should be able to make a clean retreat here. Limp gets slowed down a little bit by that Rod of Atos, but no pursuance. Trying to go for a bit more of a craftier play here. Surprising NiP just like they got surprised before. The smoke initiation here. Sealkid's going to be the first one to pop inside device, but immediate Hex gets laid out by Hudskin, who's going to die. To Pycat, it seems. No, the Glimmer Cape keeps him alive. Era unable to finish off the Supernova, and it looks like the egg will be able to survive for a serious amount of time. Era is getting low here. He needs to be able to pop the Satanic and live, but he's stuck up for too long. Jonas Fan, there goes the Divine Rapier, and it drops again. Liv now tries to pick it up, but it's a hot potato. No one's getting able to get it. Bulldog, the next target to be able to grab that Divine Rapier, gets away on the right-hand side. Loda will end up falling. The buyback of the gyrocopter means nothing. Admiral Bulldog gets away with the Divine.
He Grand Theft Auto'd it and just dived away, able to pick up the Divine. I don't even know how Bulldog does half the stuff that he does.
But can they actually win this? This is no buybacks whatsoever from Alliance. NiP might just be able to win this without the Divine Rapier intact. There goes the Courier as well. Jonas has already pushed in this bottom lane. They've got 80 seconds until the SF, 60 into the Pugna, even if you do have a gigantic damage swing. From the Gyrocopter losing its Divine Rapier to the Phoenix picking it up, it may not make much of a difference as there's nobody else alive for Alliance to defend.
Yeah, and there's no buyback on either of those cores. It's all going to come down to this as Admiral Bulldog with that Divine Rapier. He's going to have to do something as you can't just give up Mega Creeps right now. Like, yes, you have a Divine Rapier, but it's not going to mean much if it is on a hero like Phoenix. As Jonas Fan is getting quite low, he gets hexed up. The right clicks from Bulldog are going to be able to do it.
Much. Bulldog just a eliminates him. Now Aaron's going to be able to take out the supports nice and quick. Hanskin barely gets himself away. It's Mad and Bulldog fighting for their last set of racks here. Jonas Safan quick with a buyback and TP in. They're going to finish off the top lane racks. That just leaves the melee in middle, and that's going to fall too. They only need a couple of right clicks to get it. In fact, the creeps almost finished up. 15 HP, and NiP are now on the retreat with one building left. A slice of HP until Mega Creeps, but they choose not to go for it.
Oh, and I think they 100% thought that the creep was going to deal with it, but Mad, I mean, if you're at this point doing anything, that clutch right click was able to save it. And so the game continues as NiP. I mean, that was a little bit of a mistake, as I think there's still a Rapier on the Bulldog, and they are going for the Roshan right now, but you would have really liked to have Mega Creeps at this point, and Alliance, by the skin of their teeth, managed to hold on.
You can understand a bit of thought process here with NiP giving up. Like, essentially they thought the creeps were going to take it, and they want to take Roshan as quickly as possible because they know if Mega Creeps are there, Alliance are going to go for a last ditch, and they're still going to anyway. A last ditch 5-man push through middle, and they have to get everything to their advantage they possibly can to win this last team fight.
I mean, NiP might just live to regret that, as that was a 10 HP building that's slowly starting to build itself up, and I think somebody's actually going to go for it, as Jonas Safan is pushing up that top lane. He has a cheese at BKB, but he doesn't have a buyback.
As well. Aaron's actually going to go for the kill on PyCat, who's hexed up and disabled BKB, and he walks himself away. Looks like he's good. Farther down, though, it's Loda. BKB facing up against the Leshrac, who's going to be pulled back into the sack store.
At the same time.
Down. Oh no, it's going to be Jonas Safan actually going for the racks. He's going to be able to get it. There's nothing Loda can do to stop this one. And now the quick retreat. NiP have only lost the Leshrac in exchange for securing Mega Creeps. Looks like Jonas Safan and everyone else from Ninjas the Pajamas will get away free.
They were just trying to buy time. Leshrac, if you thought about that, NiP was so smart in that. Leshrac is the only one with the buyback, so he sends himself in purposefully and says, okay, Queen of Pain, we're just going to buy time for you, and Loda at top is the target for Jonas Safan. He does have a refresher.
Oh my god, he might just be able to get him with the double sonic waves and the scream to get it. Jonas finds another pickup. This guy's been playing out of his mind in this first game between Alliance and NiP, and he showcased just one more sweet maneuver as we reach the 55-minute mark.
Definitely do it still. Like, they have enough damage on their heroes. They pretty much
can't afford to give up that Divine Rapier, though. Mad is already eliminated. Can they actually control Bulldog long enough to be able to get to him? BKB activated. He's going to try and turn this one, going for some right clicks. And Sue slides away. He realizes he's in a really peck of trouble, and sure enough, the GG well played. Alliance, no, there is no recovery from this one, with the Mega Creeps already on the side of NiP and the Divine Rapier to fall. It finally returns to the hands of Ninjas the Pajamas, as does game number 1.
All right, before we throw it off to the analysts, I just hope they talk about Jonas Safan. Like, I've seen him play good games, but all the little subtle things that he did, cutting the creep waves constantly, just making things difficult for Alliance time and time again. What a game by NiP.